Anyway, and I picked up some more campiness and cheesiness, as Mad Puppet Death would say, and others, but this is the Leprechaun 3-pack. Has Leprechaun 1, 2, and 3, of course, and you know, Warwick Davis that played Wicket the Ewok from Star Wars and all those movies. Not from Star Wars, but from Return of the Jedi. But anyway, he plays a leprechaun, and it's kind of a silly, funny horror movie. Definitely worth a watch. I haven't seen the other two, but I watched the first one again a while back, and it's entertaining. Misery, this movie is, boy, this is another Stephen King that's, this movie is very unnerving. I mean, just, this movie has some very memorable scenes. James Caan's great. Kathy Bates, very unsettling, I guess is the word for it. So, check that out if you hadn't. Got the Mothman Prophecies. This movie was very weird. First time I saw it, it's supposedly based on a true story too, but it's definitely worth a look. Got some creepy sort of ideas and themes and all in it. Classic Night of the Living Dead. Got this disc a long time ago. Probably one of the first DVDs I bought. It's just not really much to it, black and white, but classic. Of course, Nightmare on Elm Street box set. Everybody's talked about that. There it is. All the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Has the 3D glasses and has the 3D movie footage and all that good stuff. I love all of these. They're the first two are scarier, and then they kind of start getting more funny, and you know, a lot of humor from Freddy and stuff. But they're great. Everybody got to check those out. Ninth Gate, Johnny Depp. This is a interesting movie. Kind of drags on a little bit, but it's kind of creepy. 1 Hour Photo. This was pretty good. Robin Williams, kind of this psycho sort of movie developer guy, works at a pharmacy and obviously does 1 hour photo work, but kind of stalks people. It's kind of creepy. Open Water, based loosely on a true story. This movie is very unsettling too. If you're scared of the ocean and sharks and stuff, this movie will bother you big time. Got The Others, Nicole Kidman. Kind of like the movie The Innocents, but it's kind of like a ghost movie. Panic Room, Jodie Foster, more of a suspense than horror, but I thought this was pretty good. This is the super bit, so this was a pretty good movie. Phantasm, classic. Actually, I haven't even seen this, which is, people probably think that's crazy, but I did pick it up a while back. I plan to watch it, and I heard it's great. So I got Poltergeist 2 and 3 here. Part 2 is pretty good. Part 3 I don't remember a whole lot about. I do have part 1 down here on Blu-ray. I'll talk about my Blu-rays later on, but that's why I don't have part 1 next to those. But they're fairly fun, entertaining. Premonition, Asian horror. Haven't seen that yet, but it sounded interesting. Of course, the original Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock classic. Gotta have Psycho if you have a movie, horror collection. So this is just an older DVD. I bought this years ago, so I'm sure there's better versions out now. Pulse, another Asian horror. They did a remake, which is not that great. This one was pretty creepy. Talk about that more later. Red Eye. This was a good movie with Rachel McAdams and Cillian Murphy from 28 Days Later, which is this is a very submissive movie. There's Resident Evil, which most people have probably seen, and Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil Apocalypse. These are good zombie, sci-fi, futuristic movies. Stephen King's Riding the Bullet. This was okay, kind of a made-for-TV miniseries. Thought it was pretty good. Of course, The Ring. Who hasn't seen this, right? This was one of the first modern scary movies that I saw. There were a lot of years where it seemed like nothing new horror that came out would scare me, but I saw The Ring in the theater and it creeped me out, and it creeped the whole theater out. I mean, I tell people that the first 15 minutes or so people were laughing, you know, like joking around, and then by the time the movie was over, everybody was kind of walking out looking at each other like zombies, just couldn't even speak. I mean, they're just so freaked out by it. So I thought that was funny, and it definitely, I'm sure I had a pretty sleepless night that night after seeing that. It was definitely creeped me out. Stephen King's Rose Red, another one of these TV miniseries. Thought it was pretty good. Here's probably one of the best vampire movies and creepiest vampire movies ever made. Salem's Lot. Tobe Hooper directed it. Made for TV, cable movie. Absolutely just creepiness. This thing's another one that will make you scared at night. If you're, especially if you're young watching. I think I saw it when I was young and it really bothered me, but it's a great vampire movie. And here we have the old Saturday the 14th, which, again, to mention Mad Puppet Death, she said she had it on VHS and was asking if it's an official DVD. Yes, it is an official DVD. I got this a long time ago. I don't know where I got it from. I can't remember. It is I think it's probably a full-screen presentation. It's by New Concord is the company. I don't know if this thing's out of print. Maybe you can find it. It's been a long time since I've seen this, too, but it's a very cheesy horror. It probably doesn't even belong in horror, but anyway, I do have it on DVD, so I guess it is somewhere. So anyway, I think I showed Salem's Lot before I showed that one. Anyway, let's move on. Saw and Saw 2, those have been talked about too much, so I mean, you know what Saw's about. Scarecrows, this was an interesting movie that I found somebody had recommended. I thought it was kind of a neat concept. It wasn't quite as good as I thought, but it was pretty good. I got the 50 sci-fi classics as I have the 50 horror classics, but here's the sci-fi classics, and I haven't seen many of these either, but again, 50 movies for cheap, and most of them are very silly and low budget. But okay, move down here, try to go a little quicker. Secret Window, interesting movie. Johnny Depp does a good job. Enjoyed that one. Seven. This is an old version of Seven. Probably another one of the first DVDs I bought. It actually is a two-sided DVD, which I hate. I think it's ridiculous. You have to flip the DVD over halfway through it, which this is the only DVD that I own that's like that. I can't believe they made one like that. But anyway, that's kind of funny, but a great movie. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Of course, a classic. Also have that on Blu-ray, and it looks great on Blu-ray. So I was telling somebody else that I was watching their videos, I was telling them that it looks so good on Blu-ray. I was really impressed that such an old movie would look so great, but it does. Silence of the Lambs, this is accidentally got the full screen edition of this, which I hate. I'm gonna try to either get it on Blu-ray or get a better that special edition that's out now with the 2 discs. That's my plan, to get that. But I love this film. Excellent. Stephen King's Silver Bullet. This is a fun werewolf movie. It's got Corey Haim and Gary Busey, and definitely worth a watch. Sixth Sense, enough said. Everybody knows that. Good movie. Sleepaway Camp. Good campy classic. Campy, no pun intended. Cheesy Sleepaway Camp is definitely a classic, and don't need to say much more about that. We got Sphere. This is pretty decent movie. The book was way better, the Michael Crichton book, but the movie's pretty good. Stir of Echoes, Kevin Bacon. This is kind of a creepy sort of ghost supernatural movie. Got this kind of neat packaging. Kind of hard to show that with one hand, but anyway, there's that. The Stuff, very funny, campy, I guess again is the word, movie. Everybody should check that one out. Swim Fan, pretty good psychological thriller. Like that one. Taking Lives, don't remember a lot about this, but it's got Angelina Jolie, Ethan Hawke. It's a pretty good movie. Tale of Two Sisters, another very disturbing, creepy Asian that I'll talk about more later. The awesome Texas Chainsaw Massacre Dark Sky Steelbook 2-disc edition. It looks great, been remastered, and just a classic movie, so I recommend everybody get this edition if you don't have it. It's really great. 13 Ghosts, not the best, but some cool special effects in it. 3 Extremes, another Asian horror. Tommy, another Asian horror.